I'd request Professor Thorat to now give his opinion and his last words.
Well, I must say that the opinion and comment and the insight brought by these three speakers is extremely useful. They have really studied the document in the area of their expertise. In fact, Professor Shah has covered the larger part of the report, but others, I think Shyampa Gupta has really brought out the ad hoc characters of the policy for the physically challenged. Amit Narkar also has brought out very, very important point. Let me, by way of general comment and summary, make some point which they have already brought out. Now, one of the points that cut across all the three speakers is that Professor Shah or others, they have to sort of derive meaning out of what is being written there. There is a play of word, tight and light, and similarly, you know, the multiple word used for the physically challenged persons. On privatization, we already have a standard model of public-private partnership, the government-aided colleges, and now we are bringing out another word for private philanthropic. I am just taking some example. So why is it that this kind of confusion and this kind of alternative terms and lack of clarity there? I think the lack of clarity is primarily because Amit Narkar has made a reference, and I would like to respond to what he has said, that it is a policy document. It can be, you know, it can be kept in the cupboard and only part of it can be brought in, or whole of it can be brought in. But you know, if you go to the document, you can see that what the document sees, that it's a complete overall of education system, the higher education system and school education system. And indeed, if you look at all the aspects which even Professor Shah has covered and Amit Narkar has covered, it's completely all aspects of the higher education and school educations are under reform and change. If I take a higher education, I need not mention the affiliating system is to be replaced within 15 years. The multiple discipline system has discipline is to be brought in, combine arts and science. Then the vocationalization, mainstreaming of vocationalization at all level. The most important issue which is raised by Amit Narkar is the value education, bringing the ancient knowledge and ancient values. Then the entire change in the governing structure of the University Grant Commission, replacing it completely. And we have not mentioned about the Science Foundation, Science Research Foundation is being brought from USA. Then Professor Shah has made a reference to there is a clear mention that we will have research come teaching university and then teaching universities. So that classification from Netherlands is being brought in, or from USA is brought in. There is a mention of national test, assessment test for admission to the university, like NET. So you can see that none of the part of the education system is left. It's a very, very comprehensive modification and change in the education policy. Now, I will make first point, that is our first policy was 1968. We set up a commission as soon as we got independence in 1948, Radhakrishna Commission, very comprehensive commission, and UGC was set up on the recommendation of the Radhakrishna Commission. Between 1948 to 1968, Radhakrishna Commission was the basis for the policy formulation. Huge, complete insight was developed into higher education system. Then it was realized later on, after 17 years, that Radhakrishna Commission deals with higher education. We have much less about secondary and school education. We had one commission in 50 to 53, but we decided to have a Kothari Commission, which will take the entire review of higher and school system. And it is on the basis of the Kothari Commission that we brought changes, 10 plus 2 plus 3 and many other changes, 3-language formula, we brought many other things. And our first policy was made in 1968 by Indira Gandhi. And then using the Kothari Commission report, we brought a final policy, that is 1986 policy by Rajiv Gandhi. And they spent about 4 years and brought a program of action, because it was said that only having a policy is not enough. There should be a program of action. So 1992 program of action. So 1986 and program of actions are the two last policy and action program approved by the parliament, which are in operation now. Now this policy has changed that. Now there is one important lesson, very briefly I will put in, that 86 policy or 68 policy and action program has been based on a detailed study of our higher education system. Even university-wide chapters are there. Let me give you some feeling. You will get a feeling of how Kothari Commission was in greater detail. There were 17 members, 7 of them were from outside, UK, USA and France. Then there were about 21 subcommittees, in which about 210 experts were involved. Even there was a subcommittee for the hostel, forget about language and other things. Then there were experts, about 9,000 experts were consulted. And then there were written 2004 statement, memorandum given to the Kothari Commission. And then Kothari Commission was brought out in 2 volumes. By studying the entire system, studying the weaknesses and studying the strength, and building the system one step ahead. Now I want to ask you, where is the study of the higher education system on which this policy report is based, policy is based, which is a comprehensive modification of higher education, school education? There is no study whatsoever. We know that Subramaniam was a cabinet secretary. He was not academician. He chaired the first committee. He sat in NUPA, National University of Education and Planning, collected some material around, got some feedback, and that is the basis of the policy. When they discovered that there was no academician associated with it, they formed a committee under the Kasturi Ranjan chairmanship, so that he is a big scientist, so it will carry a value. What was the material before the Kasturi Ranjan committee? Kasturi Ranjan committee had very little information. That 18 report or 19 report was there, and he confessed in the report that he had to follow a policy, out of box policy. And what is out of box policy? Because there was nothing in the box. They did not know how our educational system is there. So let me make one important point, and please recognize this. The policy 86 policy 99 program may be 36 years old and you are changing the policy. But the study of the higher education system was done last in 1964-65. For last 54 years, we do not know what is happening in higher education system. We have not studied. There has been a privatization of higher education. As Amit Narekar has already stated, we have 40% state private university, which we never imagined. We have 65% of self-financing colleges. We have several things, modification and suggestion have came. Do we know about this? We do not know anything. And that is why, what is the base of the committee? The base of the committee is little literature around. They have taken that, and then reading of the American system. Because Princeton University professor was on the one of the member of the committee. So you just pick up the American model of large multiple subject university. They have a city university, we don't have. We have a tradition of affiliating system. Then you pick up the National Science Foundation as it is, even though you do not change the name, and bring it here. Then you take research and university, research and teaching university. You bring a national assessment test, which USA has, simply because you have not studied our system. So the basis of this committee is the little material that they have, because they could not study the system, and this self-righteousness. Kasturi Ranjan mentioned in the report, in the introduction, that when I listened to the imagination and ideas of these people, I thought we have something in offering. He has no material available with him on the basis of the study. You have to go to Radhakrishna report and Kothari Commission report. There is a university-wide chapter. Nagpur University, Bombay University, Calcutta University. So the reason is, I think there is a diagnosis of the disease, there is a treatment of the disease without a diagnosis. And that is why Madam Shampa Sengupta, what she is saying, that I am confused. And we don't get anything. The reason is imagination is brought. Whatever good practices are there in USA and elsewhere, those practices have been brought. And some material around us, that affiliating system and other thing. That is the foundation of this report. This report, which supposed to change the 36-year policy, has not done the higher education system, which remain without study for last 54 years. So you are basing its information on elementary information. Even Ministry of MHRD did not have a data. It is only 5 to 6 years before they introduced the system of online data, and that is limited data. Where is the data? I do not see in the report even the national sample survey data being used. So I think the factual and evidence foundation of this report is extremely weak. We are the recommendation are made by remaining in a very large zone of ignorance. Therefore, I am very, very concerned, and that the things are being imposed, and that is why things will emerge, because you are suggesting not studying the system, and therefore there will be a problem. You might have seen the clarification given by the Principal Secretary of Higher Education on school education. Simply because he had to give clarification, because people began to ask about this language business, that what will happen before 5th and 6th standard about the medium of instruction. So they have to give some clarification. So this is the first point that I want to make, is that this policy is not based on the extensive study of the system. It is based on assumption, it is based on self-wisdom, and it is based on borrowing and imitating the American model. I can give 3-4 examples of American model. That's the first point I want to say. I would not like to go into greater detail, because 3 of the speakers have very competently brought it up. I think Professor Shah has expressed his concern about the affiliating system. We have a tradition of affiliating system. Why should we bring this unitary system from the US? We should improve our affiliating system. We have improved. There was a burden of affiliating colleges on the state universities, so we have created many more universities. Andhra Pradesh has university in each district. So this, because they have not studied affiliating system and its advantage and disadvantage. Completely borrow the unitary system of USA, Princeton University, they have a tradition of this city university. 50,000 students will stay, undergraduate, postgraduate. But we have another system, because we began like that. We began with a college. First college was Presidency College in Calcutta, and then another college. Then you have to create some small university or administrative place to recognize them, affiliate them, and give them the right to award degree. Then we decided that why can't the university itself start the teaching postgraduate courses in addition to giving enough affiliation? We have our own history, and we should build up on those history. I think some of the question raised, and Shah has hinted that if you are merging the colleges, you also implied that you are stopping the colleges. Now, when our enrollment ratio is only 25 to 30%, we need colleges in small town and large villages, where the poor student can go and take education. They are suggesting a large multiple university at a district place. Imagine how expensive it will be for the poor people. At the moment, the boys and girls have a college in the large village, in the small town, medium town. They can go there and access. Now there are buses. Now, accessibility will be terribly disturbed if you have only one university at a district level, or you at least you suggest that model. So because they have not studied, because that is why they do not know this problem, or I do not know whether they were not willing to understand this problem. So there are also similar issues. I think I will only take one point and finish it. Amit Natekar, in response to the question raised about the ethical education, it is not that simple. I think the cat is out of the box. Although they have changed the language, but the purpose of the value education, the foundation is to be the ancient culture, and that ancient culture is based on Brahmanism and not even Hinduism. Because Hinduism is a broader concept. You know, you have in the constitution, Hinduism is Buddhist, Jain, Sikhs, and various sects. But I think the attempt is to draw the values and the principle from the Brahmanical thinking. Now let me read out, because Natekar has, I think, missed out one or two. Nishkam karma. This is Gita's theory of karma siddhanta. That this will be taught. That you don't expect वो जो फल की जो अपेक्षा है वो बगैर करते हुए तू कर्म करते जा. This is Gita. Then you know that Kothari Commission and others have said that you should catch up the bright student by observing them over a period of time and groom them. They have replaced this by inner qualities, which is again Gita. Because Varna system of Gita is based on the inner qualities, original qualities. It's assumed that people have original qualities. Then where are the stories will come from? But before I go to the story, writer's behavior. I will suggest Nirekar to see it. Writers conduct in bracket dharma. What is dharma? Which dharma? It is Hindu dharma, it is Brahminical dharma, it is Buddhism, it is Jainism or Sikhism. What dharma we are talking about? That is why I say cat is out of the box. They could not resist mentioning dharma. Now Manusmriti is also a dharma. Manusmriti's title is a Manav dharma. Then, which are the story which will be told for the student? Pacha Tantra, Jataka, Hitopadesh, fun-loving fable and inspiring tales from the Indian tradition will be told. That's what this says. You know, this is not only reading it between the lines, but it is quite clear here that there is an attempt to build the value education on the basis of ancient knowledge, but the ancient knowledge doesn't include all the religion. It's only my feeling is the Brahmanical religious teaching will be formed the basis of this value education. But in any case, why do you need this? We have prepared the constitution. We have taken all knowledge into account. Finally, we base our constitution on the principle of equality, liberty, fraternity, integrity, and unity on the country. Teach those values. They mention very intelligently. In between they introduce the constitution. In between they talk about citizenship right. But main focus is on the ancient values. So why do you need these religious ancient values to be brought in the education? We have constitution has taken all religious teaching into account, and we laid our constitution on the certain principle which is the governing document for us. India will be is governed on the basis of those principles. We have given the freedom to religion. Nobody has stopped. You can preach, you can convert, you can write, and you can read. That freedom you enjoy. But why do you bring in the schools? Because if the personality building and other thing you are trying to build up on the basis of Brahmanism, then Buddhists will say, Jainists will say, Sikhs will say, other sect will say, Christian will say, Islam will say that we have our own values to build up the personality. I think this is very important, and let me summarize by saying that Professor Shah and others, if you look at the goals of this committee, goal for 50% of GRA and many other things is 2030, 2040. It may happen, it may not happen. But for change of syllabus at the school and the college level, the limit is 2021 and 2022. That is the immediate target. So there are many aspects of it. I do not want to go on privatization, and this is the indirectly I am saying that how education is being making a non secular, but privatization is all the same story. We have an excellent example in our country, public institution, private, aided, philanthropic. We have created a new word. We already have a public and private partnership. In fact, even during 11th plan in Congress time also they committed a mistake, public-private partnership. We will build up public-private partnership. We already have a public-private partnership, government-aided, philanthropic. But now we introduce self-financing. And as it has been rightly pointed out by Nikhil Nayakar, the percentage of the student going to the self-financing institute in the school and the colleges is amazingly increased. There is a decline in government, there is a stagnation in private aided, but there is a whooping increase in the self-financing institute. And here there is a clear indication of privatization. This Professor Shah and others have clearly mentioned that, Company Act, Non-Profit Institution Company Act. What is the provision? Provision is that they are allowed to earn the surplus. At today, they are allowed to earn the surplus, but the surplus has to be spent within the institute. And what is surplus is nothing but in indirect way, in the back door, it is a profit. So there is, although there is a separate para on inclusion and all that long list of these suggestions, but in reality, I think we are heading toward privatization. Well, there are several issues, inclusion issue, the physically challenged issue, Madam has brought out very quite clearly, but there are other issues. I don't have a time to discuss with you about this national test and the other thing. My feeling is this report requires a review. My suggestion would be, if you ask me honestly, people may not like it, that this report should be kept in abeyance. This government, they have an opportunity to set up a committee to study the higher education and school education system, which has not been studied for the last 44 years. Based on that study, then make a policy. Otherwise, it will, on several issues, it will backfire, because education varies very significantly from state to state. So the policy, if this present government want to make a policy and make an initiative, that is good. But it has to study the higher education system. It should spend 1.5 years, formulate a strong committee. In fact, when my term was over, the Ministry of HRD had set up a committee under the chairmanship of one of the science professors to study the whole system and then develop a policy. The education plan was called, the 11th plan was called education plan when I was the chairman. The budget increased from 4,000 to 47,000 crore. That was also based on the 8th study which I had started. That 8th study formed the base for Dr. Manmohan Singh to develop an education policy, to charge 2% surcharge, and then expand the education, 30 central universities, and several other things. I think I will end by saying that we need to study the system and then go ahead with the policies. Nobody object to that. Government has a right to bring a policy, but it should be evidence-based, it should be transparent, and people should know. Now, at the moment, we have brought this 4-year degree. You take a diploma, you take a certificate. No justification is given. We have also reclassified the school education. No justification is given. We have to just listen because these are clever people. That's all. We go by their wisdom. But they should have studied the school system and then see that the reclassification is good for us. But no, because the report is not based on this. You have certain ideas of higher education, preconceived ideas. You have a model of America and elsewhere. Combine that and bring it. In fact, if you read this report, it looks like a poetry and a music to our ear. They are very brilliant people who wrote this report. But it is a music and it looks like a poetry. But if you look at the substance, I do not know. I mean, preaching, all kind of preaching. It will be done that, this happen. That kind of thing is there because facts are not there. If you look at the Kothari report, Radhakrishnan Thupur, you can enjoy it because they studied it, brought out the statistic, brought out the problems and then make the recommendation. In the Radha Commission report, recommendation method is that a chapter is there, problem identified, recommendations are made, chapter wise, based on evidence. So these are some of my comments. I'm sorry, I don't know whether I have taken your more time or not. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the participants and the panel. Himangi, would you just like to quickly thank everybody?
Yes. अब अंत आ गया है. रियली थैंकिंग प्रोफेसर सुखदेव थोराट, क्योंकि हायर एजुकेशन पे ये हम पहली बार वेबिनार कर रहे हैं और इसके ऊपर हम जरूर फोकस करना चाहते थे, और हम वी आर रियली वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू, क्योंकि बहुत सारी अच्छी बातें यहाँ पे उभर के आई है. आपके चेयरमैनशिप पे ये वेबिनार बहुत अच्छी तरीके से कंडक्ट हो गया है. मैं प्रोफेसर हेमंत शाह जी का भी शुक्रिया करती हूँ. आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से आपकी बातें रखी और आप इस वेबिनार में पार्टिसिपेट हो गए और इनसाइट्स बहुत सारी आपकी तरफ से मिली. मैं शंपा सेन गुप्ता का भी बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ. हम आपको लाने की बहुत कोशिश कर रहे थे, आपका टाइम नहीं मिल रहा था, आखिरकार आपका टाइम मिल गया और आप यहाँ पे आ गए. तो ये डिसेबिलिटी के ऊपर हम जरूर करना चाहते थे. हमें ठीक तरीके से ये उसको मुद्दे रखने वाले लोग हम चाहते थे. तो आपका भी हम शुक्रिया अदा करते कि आपने हमारी रिक्वेस्ट को माना और आप इस वेबिनार में आपने डिसेबिलिटी के ऊपर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इनसाइट्स आपने रखी हैं. अमित नारकर तो हमारे पुराने साथी हैं, उनका आभार मानना भी मुझे लगता है शायद उनको पसंद नहीं आएगा, लेकिन फिर भी ये वेबिनार में आप आए, मैं बहुत आपका शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ. और हमारे साथ तो आप रहेंगे, इसके बाद भी आप गोवा में शिफ्ट हो गए हैं तो फिर भी हमारे साथ महाराष्ट्र के साथ आप रहेंगे, ऐसा मैं मान के चलती हूँ. अंत में बस ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम का मैं के बारे में बताना चाहती हूँ. ये वेबिनार ऑर्गेनाइज फोरम के सदस्य संस्थाएं हैं, जिसमें नेशनल सेंटर फॉर एडवोकेसी स्टडीज है. तो उन्होंने इस वेबिनार को होस्ट करने के लिए बहुत मेहनत की है, तो इसलिए मैं उनका भी यहाँ पे मेंशन करना जरूर चाहती हूँ. और नेशनल आरटी फोरम से जो हमारे साथी है मित्र रंजन, तो उनका भी मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ कि ये सारी प्रोसेस जो हम जूम वगैरह जो होस्ट करते हैं, तो वो होस्टिंग का काम उन्होंने किया है, इसलिए मैं उनका भी शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ. तो अभी ये मीटिंग खत्म हो गई है, ऐसा मैं जाहिर कर देती हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच.